Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because tonight's story isn't just messy, it's a full-on dumpster fire with a side of gasoline. Imagine this. Lil Durk, the man who built an empire on toughness, loyalty, and unshakable street cred, suddenly finds himself sobbing in the corner while Asian Doll throws a celebration so loud it practically roused the internet. Now tell me, is this just a baby party or a baby battlefield? Let's not sugarcoat it. The cameras caught everything. Durk looking like he just got hit with the betrayal of the century, while Asian Doll smiles like she just won the Super Bowl petty. And the fans? Oh, they're eating it up like it's Thanksgiving dinner with a side of drama gravy. Because the real question isn't what happened, it's how far will this go? Will Durk fight back? Or will Asian Doll continue to dance on his heartbreak with Von's legacy as her soundtrack? Did the celebration cross the line into humiliation? Or was this just karma finally serving Durk an ice-cold plate? One thing's for sure, this isn't just entertainment anymore. It's a scandal brewing right before our eyes, and you're not going to believe what comes next. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the chaos, because if you thought the baby celebration was just another party with balloons, cake, and a few Instagram lives, oh no, you're already behind. This wasn't a celebration. This was a declaration. A shot fired. A statement to the culture that Asian Doll isn't just here to smile for the cameras. She's here to rewrite the narrative one petty move at a time. And who's caught in the crossfire? None other than Lil Durk. The same Lil Durk who, for years, has crafted this image of unshakable loyalty, of being the untouchable figure in Chicago's rap empire. But now, that armor is cracking, and everyone can see the meltdown in 4K. Let's rewind for a second, because this isn't just about balloons and tears. This is about history, messy, bloody, and deeply controversial history. Asian Doll, who once paraded herself as King Von's ride or die, has now positioned herself as the queen of legacy parties. From tattoos to public shoutouts, to dramatic Instagram captions that sound more like rap bars and tributes. She's built her entire brand on Von's memory. And honestly, can you blame her? The internet rewards the drama, the theatrics, the I was there energy. But when you build a castle on top of grief, don't be surprised when people start asking if you're a queen or just an opportunist. Now, add Lil Durk into the picture. For years, fans have tied him and Von together as brothers in arms. Von was the soldier, the street poet, the unapologetic voice of a generation cut short too soon. Durk was a general, the mentor, the big brother who helped shape that voice into mainstream dominance. So when Von died, the pressure on Durk wasn't just about music. It was about holding that legacy together. Every verse, every performance, every public appearance became a test. Was he honoring Von or exploiting him? Was he carrying the torch or letting it flicker out? And then comes Asian Doll. Not subtle, not quiet, not willing to step back. Instead, she turned grief into branding, pain into pageantry. The baby celebration wasn't just a private affair. It was live-streamed, posted, shared, dissected. Balloons shaped like Von's face. Cake decorated with lyrics. Guests dressed in Von-inspired outfits. It was less like a baby shower and more like a festival, a Von Fest, if you will. So where does that leave Durk? Front row, center stage, forced to smile while the world watches him squirm. His reputation? Tested. His loyalty? Questioned. His emotions? Exposed. And in a culture that worships strength, that mocks weakness, seeing Durk's breakdown wasn't just sad, it was headline-worthy. Because let's be honest here, the internet doesn't care about healing, closure, or moving on. The internet cares about memes, drama, and who can clap back the loudest. And Durk crying in the corner, while Asian Doll popped champagne? Oh, that's viral gold. That's the kind of content people screen, record, and loop on TikTok. That's the kind of "did you see this?" moment that Twitter feasts on like vultures on a carcass. But this scandal isn't just about one party. No. This is the tip of the iceberg. Remember, Durk has been walking a tightrope for years. Legal troubles, feuds, beefs, public perception. It's all stacked against him. And when you're already balancing on shaky ground, one misstep can send you tumbling. The baby celebration humiliation wasn't just an emotional slip. It was a public relations disaster. Anonymous sources, yes, the ones with the tea always hotter than Starbucks in July, claimed that Durk stormed out of the event mid-celebration. One insider, who suspiciously sounds like they were recording from behind a plate of chicken wings, whispered he couldn't take it anymore. The way they were praising Vaughn, the way Asian Doll was acting like she was a true widow, he just snapped. And if that wasn't enough, screenshots allegedly leaked from a group chat of Durk's close circle, showing him typing furiously. Y'all gone stop playing with me like I'm some outsider. I put Vaughn on. I kept his name alive. Don't ever question me again. Whether these screenshots are real or Photoshop magic, the damage is done. Once it's on the internet, it's gospel to the masses. Meanwhile, Asian Doll, she's basking in the glow, posting stories, laughing with friends, sipping drinks like she just dethroned an enemy kingdom. And fans are split. Some say she's the only one truly honoring Vaughn, keeping his name alive when others are too busy chasing features and streaming numbers. Others argue she's milking the tragedy for clout, using Vaughn's memory as a weapon in her war against Durk. Either way, she's center stage. And in the world of viral scandals, attention is the real currency. So where we stand at the end of part 1, with Lil Durk looking more vulnerable than ever, Asian Doll claiming the crown of controversy, and fans sharpening their knives for the next round of internet bloodsport. The celebration may have ended, but the fallout is just beginning. Because if you thought Durk was going to take this humiliation lying down, think again. This man has built a career out of survival, out of fighting back when the odds are stacked against him. And sources are already hinting that Durk has something up his sleeve. A response, a retaliation, a fight back that might just flip the narrative. But the question is, will it save him, or will it drag him even deeper into the scandal swamp? And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 2 of the circus nobody asked for, but everybody's watching. If part 1 was a setup, part 2 is the explosion. Because the Durk humiliation wasn't just a bad night. It was a pebble that triggered an avalanche of fake reports, anonymous leaks, and Twitter threads long enough to qualify as PhD dissertations. So, let's talk scandal breakdown. First off, the leaked group chat wasn't the only digital landmine to blow up Durk's reputation. Allegedly, a private video surfaced, shot by someone at the baby's celebration, showing Durk in heated argument with one of Vaughn's cousins. According to the grainy, low-quality clip that looks like it was filmed on a 2008 flip phone, Durk can be heard yelling, "Y'all trying to erase me from the picture. Y'all gonna regret this." Now, whether he actually said that or the audio was just some genius fan with GarageBand and too much free time, we may never know. But in the court of public opinion, it was enough. The hashtag started trending. Hashtag Durk Meltdown. Hashtag Vaughn Forever. Hashtag Asian Wins. The internet declared its verdict before Durk even had a chance to clap back. And oh boy, the clapbacks. Let's break down the public reactions, because this wasn't just fans trolling. This was celebrities, influencers, and even rival rappers jumping on the bandwagon. One anonymous industry insider, translation, some dude with SoundCloud account and cracked iPhone, told our sources, Durk been insecure about Vaughn since day one. He wanted to be the star, but Vaughn's legacy shined brighter. That party just proved it. Of course, fake receipts followed. Screenshots of alleged DMs between Asian Doll and Durk's ex, India Royale, where they supposedly laugh about Durk being pressed at the celebration. Were they real? Who cares? Because on the internet, perception is reality. Meanwhile, the investigative leaks started rolling in. A mysterious Reddit thread claimed that Durk had tried to shut down the party days before it happened. According to the post, he allegedly called venue owners, threatened to pull sponsorships, and even sent his people to intimidate staff. Did anyone provide evidence? Absolutely not. Did thousands of fans share like gospel? You bet they did. And while the internet was busy roasting Durk like a Thanksgiving turkey, Asian Doll was playing the role of the unbothered queen. She went live on Instagram, wearing Vaughn's chain, sipping wine, and laughing hysterically as fans spammed the comments with clown emojis for Durk. At one point, she leaned into the camera and said, "Ain't no breakdown over here, baby. We celebrating life, not crying in the corner." Shots fired, but it didn't stop there. Anonymous sources claim that Durk's lavish lifestyle was about to be exposed. Reports surfaced, completely unverifiable but juicy enough, that Durk had been funneling money through shady business ventures to cover up gambling debts. Some wild story about him losing six figures on underground dice games in Atlanta popped up on Twitter threads. One so-called whistleblower even claimed Durk begged promoters for advances just to keep up appearances. True? Probably not. Entertaining? Absolutely. The crowd loved it. Fans who've been quietly side-eyeing Durk suddenly had a buffet of reasons to drag him. TikToks appeared showing people acting out Durk crying while Asian doll turns up, set to sad violin music. Memes of Durk photoshopped onto soap opera scenes flooded Instagram. Twitter spaces with titles like, "Did Durk deserve this?" had thousands tuning in just to hear people argue about a party they weren't even invited to. But what's a scandal without conspiracy theories? One viral post suggested that the entire celebration was a setup, an orchestrated humiliation designed to dethrone Durk as the keeper of Vaughn's legacy. The theory goes like this. Asian doll, tired of being sidelined and mocked as Vaughn's ex, allegedly teamed up with Vaughn's family to make Durk look weak. The proof? Random blurry screenshots, cryptic tweets, and one very passionate YouTuber with a whiteboard drawing arrows between photos like he was solving a crime scene. And while fans were connecting dots that didn't exist, Durk stayed silent. No tweets, no statements. Nothing but a few cryptic Instagram stories showing studio sessions and stacks of money. But here's the problem with silence in the age of social media. People don't see it as maturity, they see it as weakness. The longer Durk said nothing, the louder the narrative against him grew. Behind the scenes, though, whispers suggest that Durk was furious. One alleged insider claimed he's been working on a diss track, not just for Asian doll, but for everyone clowning him. The track, according to these unverified leaks, is packed with subliminals, thinly veiled threats, and receipts of his own. Whether this diss track exists or not doesn't matter, because now the internet is waiting for it, like it's the Super Bowl halftime show. But here's where things take a darker turn. Fake documents began circulating claiming government interest in Durk's finances. That's right, tweets claiming the feds watching Durk popped up overnight, supposedly tied to these phantom gambling debts and money laundering schemes. None of it confirmed, of course, but fans don't care. Feds watching is the internet's favorite punchline, and suddenly Durk wasn't just humiliated. He was allegedly under investigation. Asian doll, meanwhile, played her role to perfection. She posted a cryptic tweet. "When you move funny, don't be mad when the world laughs at you." No names, no tags, but everyone knew exactly who she was talking about. And that's the beauty of this kind of scandal. You don't even have to say the name. The internet will do the connecting for you. And just when you thought this circus couldn't get any louder, welcome to the grand finale, ladies and gentlemen. Part 3 is where the smoke turns into fire, where rumors morph into investigations, and where the fallout hits harder than a heavyweight punch. Because Lil Durk's humiliation didn't just end at the party or even in the memes. It spiraled into a full-blown scandal that the internet now insists is career-ending. Let's start with the so-called government involvement. Overnight, social media detectives, armed with nothing but Wi-Fi and way too much free time, declared that the feds were now watching Durk. Fake PDFs of federal financial inquiries circulated like wildfire, complete with official-looking stamps and watermarks clearly made in Microsoft Paint. One viral post screamed, "Lil Durk under investigation for money laundering through baby celebration event sponsors." Now, was this remotely true? Absolutely not. But when has the internet ever cared about facts? Fans treated it like gospel. Memes appeared with Durk in an orange jumpsuit, edited mugshots plastered across Instagram, and TikTok creators dancing to Vaughn's music with captions like, "Meanwhile, Durk fighting for his life in court." But wait, it gets better. According to a totally unverified exclusive report, Durk allegedly considered resigning from certain business ventures, his clothing collabs, his small-scale investments, just to protect his image. Imagine the headlines, Lil Durk steps down amid backlash. It never actually happened, but the rumor alone was enough to make sponsors nervous. Anonymous brand insiders claimed deals were being reviewed and paused. In other words, public relations chaos. And if fake federal probes weren't enough, The scandal triggered a domino effect in the music industry. Several blogs ran with a narrative that other rappers were quietly distancing themselves from Durk. The proof? One rapper unfollowed him on Instagram, another liked a shady tweet. A DJ dropped his song mid-set and switched to Von's music instead. Coincidence? Maybe. But in the culture of viral gossip, everything is evidence. Meanwhile, Asian Doll? She's bathing in the glow of vindication. Every post she made turned into a trending topic. Every live stream drew thousands. She was no longer just Von's ex or the girl with the tattoos. She was a symbol of resistance, the queen of pettiness, the undefeated champion of the internet's attention span. She even leaned into the chaos with merch. Yes, merch, rumored to feature slogans like "unbothered energy" and "crying in the corner ain't cute." Petty turned into profit, and the fans lined up to buy. But the consequences for Durk only deepened. Fake, anonymous insiders popped up daily, each claiming to know the real story. One alleged that Durk privately begged Asian Doll to stop the celebration, offering her money to cancel. Another said he was in talks with lawyers to sue her for emotional distress. The juiciest rumor? That Durk was preparing a tell-all interview to clear the air on national TV. Of course, no interview ever aired, but the speculation alone kept the scandal boiling. And let's not forget the fan backlash. Twitter threads were brutal. Comments flooded his Instagram. Clown emojis, crying memes, endless Von would-have-never posts. TikTok trends had people mocking his supposed breakdown, reenacting the party scene with captions like, "When your op steals a spotlight at your own funeral." It wasn't just ridicule. It was reputational erosion in real time. But here's the twist. For every hater, there was a die-hard supporter. Team Durk versus Team Asian became the internet's new battleground. Fans argued endlessly in comment sections, creating digital war zones where nobody wins, but everyone types in all caps. Some claimed Asian Doll was exploiting Von's memory for clout. Others insisted Durk was jealous of Von's legacy. The division wasn't just loud, it was profitable. Every click, every view, every argument fueled the algorithms, pushing the scandal further into the spotlight. And just when the dust should have settled, new evidence dropped. Allegedly, leaked audio surfaced of Durk in a phone call, angrily plotting his comeback. In the scratchy recording, likely fake, but who's checking? He says, "They think I'm finished? Nah, I'm just getting started. Watch what I drop next." Whether it's real or fan fiction doesn't matter. The internet heard revenge and lost his collective mind. Now the narrative shifted. Was Durk about to clap back musically? Will we get a diss track aimed straight at Asian Doll? The hype machine roared. Blogs published countdowns. Fans predicted bars. TikTokers made skits about how Asian Doll would react. Even late-night streamers speculated about incoming beef. It wasn't about truth anymore. It was about anticipation. Durk, humiliated and dragged through the mud, suddenly had the chance to flip the script. But here's the dangerous part. Scandals like this don't just disappear. They linger. They stain. Even if Durk dropped the hottest diss track of his career, the shadow of humiliation at that baby celebration will always trail him. People won't forget the memes, the fake reports, the tears caught on camera. And Asian Doll? No matter what happens next, she's immortalized as the one who turned a simple party into a battlefield that shook the culture. So the fallout is clear. Durk's image is bruised, battered, and questioned. Asian Doll has skyrocketed in visibility, controversy fueling her clout. The fans are divided into camps, fighting like gladiators in the digital coliseum. And the industry? Watching closely, waiting to see if Durk sinks or stages the greatest comeback of his career. And as the dust settles, one haunting question remains. Was the scandal orchestrated from the start? Was the baby celebration really about family? Or was it a carefully planned spectacle to strip Durk of his crown? If so, it worked. If not, well, sometimes reality doesn't matter when the narrative is this entertaining. Because in the end, this isn't just hip-hop gossip. It's modern mythology. Heroes, villains, betrayal, humiliation, revenge. A Shakespearean tragedy live-streamed on Instagram with a trap beat in the background. And we, the audience, can't look away. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The dust may be settling, but the battlefield is still smoking. Lil Durk, humiliated, dragged, and painted as the insecure villain of his own story, an Asian doll, rise like a phoenix out of On's shadow, crowned by the internet as the queen of petty perfection. But the million-dollar question still hangs in the air. Who really won this war? Was Asian doll simply honoring Vaughn's memory in her own over-the-top champagne-soaked way? Or did she use his name as a weapon to publicly break Durk down? And let's not forget Durk himself. Is he plotting the ultimate clapback, or has this scandal carved a permanent crack in his armor? But maybe the real scandal isn't even about them. Maybe it's about us. Why are we so obsessed with watching people crumble in real time? Why do we treat breakdowns like entertainment, pain like memes, and humiliation like a Super Bowl halftime show? Is this hip-hop culture, or just human nature at its messiest? Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Asian Doll went too far? Or was Durk overdue for a dose of his own medicine? Should Durk fight back with music? Or stay silent and let the storm pass? And most importantly, what would King Vaughn himself think of this circus that's been built on his legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't hold back. I'll be reading every single one. Smash that like button if you think this story is only getting started. And of course, hit subscribe, because trust me, the next chapter in this saga is already writing itself. And you don't want to miss the receipts when they drop. The truth may be messy, but around here, messy is exactly what keeps us coming back.